Stretching out, I looked around, taking note of the mess still littering the place. Thanatos? Are you here yet? Tyson's borrowing my room tonight, just so you know. I got nothing in reply, and for a few moments that stretched after I started to worry. But upon checking under his bed, I saw him laying there still. Alive as much as he could be from the look he gave me, but he resumed just staring forward immediately, as if waiting in silence. A knocking at the door made me sit up, and I called out for them to come in, assuming it was Tyson.
Dave, I was wondering.
How'd you even know I was in this room?
I mean, to be fair, Dave is always in a bedroom at some point, so...
Yeah, but it's Tyson's room, so I'm like, how did Sal find us?
Just find him. Just go to every bedroom. This is how he finds people. He just knocks on every bedroom door.
Dave, are you napping? Dave, I was wondering, why are you on the floor?
Oh, just checking the room over, I guess.
All right.
Is that really all you were wondering?
I was wondering if you wanted to spend the night together. You know.
You mean like...
Nothing more than that. I just feel both of us could use a good cuddle after everything that happened today. I understand completely if that's potentially a bit too much right now.
Completely potentially.
Dean just burst into the room. You whore! No,
I would love if a conflict that was meaningful happened. That would be really nice.
I need it. No, that'd be great actually. Just Tyson's using my bed, so
we can use mine. No offense to Tyson, but I'd sleep better if I wasn't surrounded with piles of stolen things from around the house.
What? Who cares? What? What is this insanity?
He's a cop, and it's his moral code.
He's borrowing things from the place that you're I mean, yes, he's probably going to take them home, but it doesn't mean that it's a problem to have, like, a game in the bedroom. Like, what?
Yeah, they're
Should you sleep in a sterile bedroom the whole time? What are you fucking on about?
Because they haven't left the building.
Oh my god.
No, I get it. Let's use yours.
No, I mean, I guess this route makes a lot more sense. The route makes a lot more sense when you consider the fact that Sal not knowing what salad is comes full circle with him wanting to become a cop because cops are fucking dumb. So it does check out. I am following what's happening here.
How you doing there, comment section?
It's characterization. Oh, if you guys are fucking cop bootlickers, you can come at me, fight me.
You can find him at toaster.gay. Wait, that's not toaster.live?
That's not it. That's not my URL, but you can go there too. I'm sure someone has it.
It was in the cards at some point, but it didn't happen, did it? Let's see. Sal led the way over to his room, and I snuck one last look at Thanatos, who seemed to once more acknowledge that I was there before resuming his wait. You snuck one last look. It's hard to sneak a last look at when it involves laying on the floor to look under a bed again.
Yeah.
Like, look how low that bed is.
Oh, yeah, I guess that is pretty low.
You know, it's rat-sized.
Would you like to have a shower first?
Together. Do you mind?
Not at all. Go ahead.
He switched off the light and sat down on the bed, seemingly willing to wait until I was done. Won't be long. He was long. By the time I was out of the shower, Sal was down to his underwear and got into bed. Folding back the blanket, I got it next to him and sighed upon feeling the cushioned warmth. The side-outs are all gone. Whoa. It seemed to be a pattern with him, when I soon found myself using his front as a cushion, more on him than off him, with his claws playing the length of my back carefully.
You skipped a line. Oh, weird. It just flickered for a second.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, odd.
Good night, Dave.
I yawned as I went to reply, but found myself falling asleep before I could get the words out, rocked to sleep from the rise and fall of Sal's chest. Big numbies.
Sweet mercy.
My head hurt. I couldn't tell how or why it was hurting, but it was. Oh, well, I slept. New background. Strange resort waterfall. It was cold. Wet. Something fluffy wrapped over my shoulders. High above the sun was warm, bright, in a cloudless sky. The sounds of splashing coming from nearby. What's going on? Dean's telltale chuckle from behind me, followed by his arms around my middle, explained the softness I was leaning against. Finally awake? Where are we? Hey everyone, he's awake. Beach Roswell. Huh? Awake?
You had... Oh, sorry. My Roswell allergy acted up. You had us worried.
I knew letting you jump in like that was a bad idea. What's going on? This has all the vibe of like, huh? NFTs? 9/11? What are you talking about? We're all just gonna play Diablo 1. Come on.
Oh no.
More like day -2000. Here goes. I didn't understand. I was confused as to where we were, why we were here. But what I did know that my head was hurting bad.
Dave?
Then it was all gone in an instant. I was floating again in the darkness, and eventually something else surfaced. You can't stack those, it's bullshit!
Are you sure?
Or no, that was the wrong voice.
Are you sure?
Don't scare me like that.
Dude, calm down. It's not even you drawing the cards, it's Dave.
It's... Huh? I could feel my heart rate rising quickly, the confusion only getting worse. Those were just dreams, right? But they felt different somehow. The feeling in my head was no better either. Are we jumping timelines? Are those scenes from other characters' playthroughs? Then it was gone. Everything came back into focus, and I was right when I went... And I was right where I went to bed the night before. No headache, heart still racing, but things felt real again. My eyes went wide as the world continued to move, although in gentle rocking motions up and down. Groping around next to me, I was met with firm muscle and the quiet grumblings of the crocodile underneath me. Breathing out, I went limp on top of Sal, closing my eyes and dozing as he continued to sleep. It was nice, relaxing, as if I were on the ocean or being rocked to sleep, gently in a hammock maybe. I was roused from my nap when I felt Sal's claws running gently through the fur of my back, teasing and combing lightly as I lay there. Morning.
Sorry if I woke you.
No, it's okay. I was awake, sort of.
Everything all right? You seem dazed.
Dazed. Just a strange dream. I didn't realize where I was at first, then figured I'd just doze until you woke up.
I see.
I'm okay. I promise. Just still trying to make sense of it all.
Anything specific, or are you meaning literally everything?
I guess if I had to narrow it down, it'd be the dream first, and then just what happened yesterday.
Would you like to talk about either?
This is gonna sound like a strange question, but did you meet Haas and Tyson play cards together at any point?
I can't say we have. Why?
What about, a river? Did we go swimming at a river?
No.
It just felt so real.
Were you dreaming lucidly? Could that be it?
Maybe.
I mean, lucid dreams explicitly don't feel real. That's the whole point of them, is that you know you're in a dream.
You can control it. Maybe. I don't think I've ever dreamt like that before, but I could have sworn I was awake during those things.
Does it bother you?
Maybe only a little? I like knowing when I'm dreaming and when I'm not. The past few vivid dreams I've had I knew were dreams because I dreamt about being at home, but these were places here, I guess.
If you weren't still right where we went to sleep, I'd offer sleepwalking as an alternative.
It wasn't sleepwalking either, because that would have required you to be awake too, right?
Yeah, right.
I don't know, Sal. It just feels strange. I feel strange.
Strange as in sick, or strange as in...
I don't know how to explain it. Just strange, I guess.
Is there anything I can do?
I don't know, really. I guess maybe once we talk things out with everyone today, things will make more sense.
Typo.
I don't think I understand how that will be the case, but I hope so. Were you wanting to head downstairs now?
Talk what out? The dream with everybody?
Their relationship with Dean, I think, maybe?
Maybe in a bit. I'm still a bit out of it. He ran his hand through the fur of my head before leaning down and kissing me on the cheek, or rather, lightly brushing his snout against my face. Sal? Did you just...
Sorry, was that too far?
Was that meant to be a kiss?
I'm sorry, I'll ask next time.
No, it's fine, just... I guess I expected something more. Like, you're allowed, you know.
Wow, Dave, you're so needy.
May I be honest?
Of course.
I may just be tired, but I keep getting distracted by how easy it would be to just fit your whole head in my mouth like a watermelon.
Was this line before or after the comic that has the croc in it? You know what I mean? With the goat and the croc?
I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about any of this. This game is genetically engineered to be cancerous to me.
I can't remember the name of that comic because it's just two names. I put it in my video for Lego.
Duncan and Eddie?
Duncan and Eddie.
Yeah. This game,
because they're in the middle of having a cute moment together, and then the croc is just like, I could put your whole head in my mouth. It just, with dumb googly-eyed expression, and just ruins the moment.
You just made a joke 7 years ago in the time of this playthrough, and I'm now a geriatric old man, and you said Sal is going to be the vor root because he's a crocodile, and I wasn't expecting this to be the thing.
It wasn't because he was a crocodile. It was because of every single thing we knew about him so far. There were so many data points. I was attuned to all of them.
I just made my bed and I don't want to sleep in it. That's my problem. That's my problem, is that I reaped and I don't want to sow, okay? I just want to have a normal day for once in my life.
You're just like, can I go back and pick TJ? Fuck. What?
Sorry. Maybe it'll be better if you initiate the next kiss.
Just slide right into there. Like right now?
I think the moment has passed, and continuing with the honesty, I could use some breakfast. Your head just looks so delicious, Dave.
I need to eat something first, or else. We got up and got dressed. Sal seemed lost in his thoughts while we got ready to head up downstairs. And when he did, he lagged behind, catching up with me at the base of the stairs. He's got his butcher's x-ray vision where it's just like carving Dave up into all of the cuts of meat like in a Looney Tunes cartoon. Shooting me a reassuring nod, we made our way into the dining room. It didn't take long for everyone to arrive, each of us taking a seat at the table with Orlando heading into the kitchen once everyone was accounted for. At some point, coffee was put in front of me, and I downed it quickly, almost burning my throat, but did wonders in waking me up. Aha! I looked across to see who I spent the night with and flashed him with a smile, and he flashed me one back. That reads suspiciously like catch-all language that always plays no matter what route you're in.
Yeah.
He was enjoying a cup of coffee as well, quietly listening to Roswell, who never can sleep with you, as he spoke a mile a minute. He was paying attention and not really adding much to the conversation, it seemed. It's so weird to hear them not say Sal at all. That's so suspicious. Benson appeared for a while, quietly walking towards the kitchen as if the rest of us weren't there. He looked like death, disheveled and ungroomed. If I had to guess, he hadn't slept at all. Hey, everyone? The table went quiet when I spoke. I wasn't expecting it to happen so quickly, but I stood up, cradling my coffee cup in both hands. I just wanted to say that, there wasn't a good way to start this conversation, but I at least waited until people had eaten something. I'd eaten already, and having something in my stomach made me feel less anxious, but the weight of what I wanted to talk about was still there. What does he want to talk about?
Sal got me pregnant. We're gonna have a baby.
He gave me an Eskimo kiss and now I'm preggers. No, never mind. I sat back down sheepishly, looking down into my coffee. But a few moments of looking back in my face and the black liquid, I frowned and stood back up again. No, I have something to say. What do you think he's gonna say?
Why is this a moment of triumph for you, Dave? Just fucking speak.
I don't know what today's meeting is about. And I'm Dave. Like, what? Is it gonna be the plot? Did he just suddenly remember the plot 5 days after he last thought about it? Like, dude, just say it already. I'm getting to it. I breathed in deep and looked at each of my friends in turn, setting down my mug. I'm sorry to bring this up over breakfast, but 2 days ago I got the vault to work again. There was nothing but silence to greet my declaration. My eyes went to the table, uncertain how to proceed, but I figured not saying anything was worse than just trying. 2 days ago, I was told there was a password, so I spent the day trying to solve it. Everyone seemed to look at one another confused, but still didn't say anything. I rubbed my head, unsure how to explain this without sounding crazy. Werewolf. The password was werewolf, and what I saw was Orlando dead and Tyson covered in blood. There was a thing in Tyson's room that was going to set him off, making a high-pitched sound or whatever. The tension on the table increased, and I looked around again to see if anyone wanted to speak aside from me. For the most part, it seemed as though some people weren't convinced I was serious and others just didn't know what to say. So, the thing is, I didn't say anything because I wanted to try and fix it myself, but also because I didn't want the person behind it knowing, you know, in case they tried to mix it up on us. That's a lie. You're lying. Dave's just lying. Dave knows that the person doing it is the vault, and he talked about it out loud all the time with Thanatos. Who also
Dave,
is the
I
vault?
think you could have.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Dave, I think you could have phrased that better. A lot of it, actually.
Probably should have talked to Tyson first about this too, you know? Before the reveal, where you just blindside him with it too. I frowned, worried that my explanation wasn't clear enough, but it seemed clear that Roswell was willing to ask anyway.
For the clarity at the table, are you implying that it was someone here that set it up?
Well, no, but maybe? I mean, it's possible, right? Dave, just spit it out. We need rest, yeah? We need the rest? Oh, the rest of it, not rest. they talk about sleeping so much that I got thrown off. If Dave suspected any of them, he didn't think that ever, which is frustrating. Dave? Yeah? How do you know it's one of us? I snatched up my coffee again and downed it for confidence, then openly declared what I knew to the table. So someone's been controlling a robotic rat, and that rat was setting off a loud noise underneath Ty's bed, and that was making him go crazy, and he was going to break last night. But I found the rat and talked to him, and we figured it all out. This is confusing because I don't think we ever thought that he suspected somebody was controlling the rat. Like, we knew the rat had to go against his programming, but the implication seemed to be that he was being controlled by the vault, because he just is the vault, and that's his mission. The silence stretched out longer than I would have liked, and with how talkative people were before I started talking, I started to chuckle, with my nerves getting the best of me. The rat? Eyes were on Dean as he stood up slowly, nodding at me. The rat? You mean the one we found in the kitchen? Thanatos.
Ah, the god of death. How the fuck would you know that, Roswell?
No, the rat, you know, the one that Dave was within the kitchen. Wait, is that its name? Who would name a rat after something like that? A rad dude. But it's not a rat, is it? Dave just said it was robotic. I nodded quickly. Yeah. He speaks from a little collar around his neck, and he's, I wouldn't say nice, but, you know, we fucked.
You know. No?
I mean, he's kind of a jerk. Is he really? It seemed nice enough.
Shut the fuck up, Dean. He bit you.
He bit you. He's a rat, Dean. He shouldn't be in the kitchen.
Racism, wow. Oh, I go where I want.
Oi! Everyone heard it. They were looking around the room for where the unfamiliar voice had come from. But I caught him scrambling up onto the table closest to the kitchen. He stood plainly in the middle of the table for everyone to see. Orlando seemed uncomfortable seeing the rat again. Everyone else was a mix between confused and intrigued. Hey, Thanatos.
Heard you were talking about me.
Yeah, I was, He shook his head and looked around at everyone else at the table.
Well, go on. I'm sure you all have questions now that Junior here opened his mouth.
You wanna know how I got these scars? So, the other day, in the kitchen...
Yeah, real classy, putting me under that metal thing. Didn't even have the decency to ask.
I know every timeline and every data point and eventuality, but I don't know what a colander is. And then at the table before breakfast, could have said something?
Just getting a read on you, wasn't I? Didn't even get a chance to get a word out before you started touching me all over.
Orlando shot Dean a sour look, but then turned back to Thanatos, drumming his finger on the table. We're not all hallucinating, right? Like, you're actually talking, and you're just a robot?
Just a robot is, underselling it.
He's the vault, the AI behind it, or something. I don't really know why he's a rat, though.
I'll have you know I'm a rat because I need to be one. I need to be a little guy, like a little strange little creature.
Just a little guy. It's my birthday. Well, I'm sorry I was so rough the other day. Not every day you meet a rat that behaves like you do.
This is insanity to me because when Dave met Thanatos, he was like, what the fuck? A rat that speaks? What is going on? My brain. And then he introduces himself as like a menacing fucking figure showing up conveniently right when everyone's talking about him. And everyone's like, yeah, a rat that talks. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, well, sorry, bud, for doing the bad thing to you.
Almost like everyone but him has heard of this before.
Nah, you're all right. Heard you were good with your hands. Unlike a certain someone, and wanted to check.
What does that mean?
Why is it you're looking at me when you say that?
Haas is a terrible hand game.
I'm bi. Hardly got that thing working, Benny boy wanted you to fix, huh?
Do we know what he's talking about? I don't think we do.
Wasn't Haas trying to repair something? I vaguely remember this being a thing, but maybe I'm just making it up. I thought he was repairing something. I thought he was like looking for tools.
I can't think of what it is. Why not just give it to me? I can get a car working, can't be too hard.
You can do robotics? Finer electronic stuff?
No.
That's why, innit? Phile on Dean said he had history, so that's why I went to him.
Excuse me, Mr. Rat.
What?
Sorry, do you just rather Thanatos?
Or what about something more befitting a divine name? Thanatos-sama.
No.
Listen, you stop that. Thanatos is fine.
All right, Thanatos, I had a question.
What?
What did you mean by a file?
Oh, easy enough to answer. Got a file on each of you. Just had to go look at them.
The screen is hard mode where each of these voices contrasts the other ones in ways that makes you start to drift them all.
It's really, really hard, yeah.
Like when I gave certain characters like vaguely like important fantasy British voices in Final Fantasy XIV, and then all of them had scenes together. I'm like, no!
Files? What sort of files?
A combination of my own notes and publicly available records.
How detailed are they?
They know about my terminal illness that I'm keeping from the story, but definitely have.
The question seemed to give Thanatos pause, regarding Roswell carefully before giving his answer.
Very. Chances are I know things about you that you're keeping secret from one another.
Like,
let me just drop that in front of everyone.
Yeah, thanks, Thanatos, but also, God, I wish you'd say stuff like this 10 days ago.
I wish he'd just tell us. If he wanted to actually be a shit stirrer, he just needs to tell the truth.
There's so many powder kegs that need to be lit.
Hold on. I think it's not worth delving into that. We have no way to verify that he's telling the truth anyway.
So Roswell has the biggest
Don't ask
secret.
about all the secrets I'm keeping.
Yeah.
How so?
I think a better line of questioning would be, what does it mean that he's the Vault? That might inadvertently answer the question of if he can be trusted.
Oh, he's very hit and miss as far as trusting him, I think. Or he makes it hard to trust him anyway.
Real nice, Junior. But as for being the Vault, it's not to get. I'm the back-end system of it.
Sorry, I still don't quite understand.
Well, if he's the system of the Vault, then it begs the question as to what the Vault does and can do, right?
Well, as far as we know, it does the whole vision thing, right?
You know, I've been wondering exactly how it works, like, specifics.
What do you mean?
Well, have you heard the term morphic resonance before?
Why do you know that already?
Yeah, I have heard the term before. Thank you for asking.
I played this game called Zero Escape.
It was so long ago, but I'd heard the term before. Almost 2 weeks ago. If it wasn't because of the prideful smile of the larger boar telling me about it, I probably wouldn't have remembered. Survival instincts?
Ah, so you're at least familiar on a surface level.
Roswell, for those of us who are completely lost, mind filling us in? If Roswell, in other words, us about morphic resonance, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Some of us only played Danganronpa. Here it comes.
That's a funnier joke than anything that has happened in the game so far. That was really good, Keith.
I've broken
That
Toaster.
was a good one. That was a good one.
He's been made vulnerable,
needed that.
and now he's been tricked into thinking I'm funny.
No, it was just, that was a good one. That was a funny joke. People in the comments should tell Keith that's a funny joke. Because that was a good joke.
I'm gonna be confused what the fuck they're talking about in like 2 weeks.
It was a good joke. It was a good one. That was
like when Thank You Toaster happened. I was like, what is happening? I don't know what's happening.
It was funny. It was a good one.
Right. I'll keep it short because I'm sure we don't need a lesson this early in the morning. Consider it like the idea that you can call upon genetic memory to warn you of danger. Like how you inherently know fire is dangerous and things like that.
Really? That simple?
I guess that makes sense. So it's just like stuff we inherit.
Yes, but probably not how you're thinking. We're talking multidimensional in this regard.
So Thanatos can make us remember stuff? Sort of.
If he's telling the truth, yes. Everything Dave has seen so far would just be a past memory for him.
Can I just say how fucked up that is? How do you expect us to believe that anyway? How else would you explain it, Ty? Those things never happened, but they were so clear, so real, I just don't know what else they could be. Fucking drugged up hallucination bullshit, maybe?
God, I wish something that interesting was happening.
Nah, mate. Don't need drugs to do what I do. Just a good high-pitched noise will do just fine.
Noise? Ty started to growl, jumping up and hunching over the table. He stumbled over his words, trying to figure out how to phrase what he wanted to, but I could tell from his eyes bulging that he'd put it together. Yeah, Thanatos was under Ty's bed. Ty made a grab for Thanatos, but came up short the moment the rat took a step backwards.
I have a question.
For who?
Open question, I suppose. Do we know who's puppeteering him right now?
Isn't he a robot?
Well, yes, that's what he said. We haven't seen Benson in a while.
I need Benson to just yell from the other room like, no, I fucking hate the rat.
I hate the rat so much.
I hate the rat, Roswell. Fuck that rat.
No strings on me. That's for sure.
I'm playing Lies of P right now. He does what he wants, Roswell.
You're sure? He doesn't take orders from anyone?
Well, yeah, because the person that would be giving him orders otherwise is dead, right?
If it gets revealed that someone is giving him orders, I'm going to actually lose my mind.
You've placed so many mines to step on.
I know.
Which way will Toaster lose his mind?
It's gonna happen at some point if it hasn't already.
You mean the guy that owns the place? Right.
But he'd need to be taking orders from someone, and an AI with true free will is just... it's unheard of, isn't it? Maybe I'm just special like that. Maybe I just don't think you need to know who I listen to.
Well, where does that leave us then?
Dean, you really don't get it.
It's hard to process, but the implication to me, at least, is clear.
Well, don't leave me in the dark.
The implication of that is that it's one of us, isn't it?
A lump in the back of my throat kept me quiet, but I could see looks being shot around the table. The prospect seemed to cause everyone to second guess the truth of what Sal had suggested, and the silence was making it worse. Well, it's not me.
If you didn't sound so genuine, I'd be second-guessing that based on how he showed up to talk to you when no one else was around.
It feels like we can solve this right now. Haas is the lie detector, right? Just actually ask everybody and Haas will know, unless it's him.
You can't expect the game to
We've established
line up
this trait. Why isn't it going to do something?
Yeah, because it's password, buddy. Sorry.
The people I suspect are Haas and Roswell.
I do not for a second suspect a single person in this group. I refuse to be had by this game. It is going to pull some bullshit at the end where it was... I'm going to go back to my earlier prediction that I said would make me really angry, and that it's like the bus driver is going to come back and be like, I was the mastermind all along. And gamers probably think it's a really big, cool twist, but I'm going to sit here and say that was dumb.
We're going to walk in another room and we're going to see the charred corpse of a seventh friend that we've never heard of.
Yes, yes.
And other bullshit that games like this have pulled.
It's a little suspicious, but I don't think Dean's smart enough to play a long game such as this without anyone knowing. It'd also have meant that he'd have brought Thanatos with him on the bus.
That's not what that means. See? It can't be me.
Well, it's not me either. If I can't put together a broken ECM, then I can hardly put together a robot, let alone a full AI to run it.
It's not me either. Honestly, thinking about it logically, it can't be any of us, can it? We're all too dumb.
I'm relieved, but why?
I'd have to guess that it's because he's the vault, right? It's not just making a robot or an AI. But then to make the vault itself really only means that you need a level of knowledge on this sort of stuff along with the ability to construct it, right?
Rolls me out. I don't have the cash and barely get how this all works. Dave can back me up on that. I only understand this from video games, honest. Shagohod. And your folks are in the mob. You've got the money. I appreciate that you can put that together, but I'd rather spend my money elsewhere, thanks.
He's got a point. I imagine if Orlando Freely had that much money, he'd do something to stop demons and ghosts from threatening to torment him.
God, these characters are so irreverent and quirky, and we're all laughing at their quirky character traits that are really well established.
Remember Orlando, who's famously afraid of ghosts, as of last mentioned on day 4 or something? Didn't even register what he was talking about for a minute. What about you, Roswell?
Me? I don't mind the ghosts and demons.
He means the master of this rat bullshit, smartass.
Oh no, can't be me, can it?
Why not?
I'll admit that I have the smarts potentially, but resources, no.
Isn't your dad a lawyer though? They make some money.
I mean, your parents, Roswell, were the ones that got this whole thing set up. What the fuck are you talking
a detail
about?
We've all collectively forgotten and never thought about again.
Even though they brought it up. They said it textually in the game.
Yeah.
Oh my god. This is... Roswell's trying to gaslight everyone. This doesn't... I hate this.
Sometimes it's definitely just very noticeable when a story seems to set up at a very important detail that sets up the mystery, and then just actively doesn't acknowledge it for huge stretches of time. It's like, oh, well, then that's the important thing, right? That's the thing. You just set it up once and quietly thought we wouldn't think about it ever again or something.
By that logic, we could be pointing at you as a suspect, given your mother.
So, what I'm getting at is that all of us are in the clear? No one could have done it? There was an air of hopefulness in his voice as he stood up, leaving one less person in their chair. That's good, right? The rat's lying, and then... Orlando's smile faded the moment the snickering happened. Thanatos shaking with laughter as he remained in his spot on the table.
Well done. Very well done.
He rubbed his hands together before looking at each of us, all the while snickering to himself.
You've convinced yourselves that none of you is a traitor.
No one has the means or the opportunity, right? That assumes us knowing all these characters better than we do. Any one of them could be the secret mastermind. It's me, the child actor with my vast fortune who's been here before. And so on.
Nah, you should know better than anyone. David Holloway Jr.
I finally sat back down, worried about what he was going to say next. It was a primal instinct to react in some amount of fear when your full name was called. It's a genetic memory, you might say.
What am I?
The vault.
How long have I been alive for?
I don't know.
This time around, at least 10 years, I think.
This time around? Oh.
So I'll ask you again. How long have I been alive?
Well, how many iterations of the universe have we gone through?
Now that is something I haven't been keeping track of. Too many.
Then, is your master alive?
Very good, Dave. Asking the right questions. The answer to that is complicated. Seems pretty easy to answer, given being alive or dead is just one or the other. You can't be both.
Have you heard
You
of
can if the
Schrodinger's
superposition
cat?
hasn't been collapsed.
We both said the same thing.
The superposition, because this is just zero escape. We're zero escaping once more.
We both had the exact same reaction.
I guess unless you're a zombie.
Zombies aren't real, are they? The American ones, no, but the Japanese hopping ones, yes. Or Chinese.
Depends.
Chinese. I wasn't going to correct you, but then I was like, maybe I should step in, but then I decided not to comment on
It
it.
took me a moment to remember.
Yes.
On what?
I guess if you get resuscitated after you've died, that'd make you a zombie, sort of, right?
That's not how that works, though. I don't think you can give CPR to someone whose brain has stopped. At least, I think that's what I remember Mom saying. Thank God. You are off topic, Orlando.
You're welcome.
That was stupid. Not you. Not once, not now, not ever.
Killjoy. So to summarize, we're left with an unknown master controlling Thanatos, who was instructed to torment Tyson, right?
That about sums it up.
Which leaves us with a list of suspects, spanning those in this mansion, and from what I got from Thanatos' implication, spanning multiple iterations of the universe.
Right.
I mean, this is literally the group who, like, 4 days ago was like, Dave, we can't trust you when you say there's a dead guy. None of us saw it, and you're depressed. They're all swallowing this pretty
they're
fucking
ready to
easy.
accept a multiverse overnight. And the evidence is that we saved Tyson from turning into a werewolf in a thing that no one experienced or saw evidence of. Which itself is like a wild thing to say. The word was werewolf? Like,
yeah.
What are you talking about?
So I have a question for the god of death in the room.
I'm just embracing the fact that everyone's in a room together and actually talking about the plot, and also every character's interacting, and this, in many ways, is moving faster than it has ever moved before. Like, this is like a scene that is like what we were hoping the game would be like most of the time by now.
Yes.
Yes. When was the last time you communicated with your master?
He seemed to regard the question carefully, either weighing something up or trying to figure out if he was able to answer.
Today. Wait, what? Any other questions?
His master's probably Dave from the future pulling an Akane.
Oh my god.
We're zero escaping again.
Yeah.
I'm zero escaping all over the place.
Didn't I say like 5 episodes or something ago that like the ending of this game is going to be Dave merging with the vault or something?
Yeah, probably.
And, like, the true ending.
Who can say?
Like I called this out like a while ago, I think.
I don't know. Whatever.
When today? Did they ask you anything? Again, he seemed to consider the question before answering.
Recent. Yes.
This is getting us nowhere. How do we know we can trust this little shit?
We don't really have much choice, do we? A talking rad robot is already a lot for first thing in the morning, but here we are.
Well, I don't like it.
Tough luck.
Can't we just ignore him already? But Ty, without him, I wouldn't have known to save you. He's the one that almost drove me nuts, Dave. Under my bed, remember?
He's got a point.
I don't need your backup.
I'm wondering about the timing, actually.
What timing?
Why is he appearing now? Why is this only being told to us now? What's going to happen next?
Easy enough to answer.
He's got a gun!
Junior here caught me in the act. Not to say I didn't try helping him along a few days ago.
A few days ago?
When you started having your little headaches. And when Junior here almost crushed me when I made him pass out in front of you in Orlando.
Tyson made another dive for Thanatos and his fingers scraped against fur, but he wasn't close enough still. You fucker. He razzed Tyson and took refuge behind Sal's arm as it came down on the table to block Tyson from making another attempt.
Hey, Thanatos, how much trouble are we in, really?
Interesting question. Why?
Are you evil?
Not quite what I'm getting at, but I just don't get why. Sal said it best when the timing just seems strange. How long have you been in contact with the rat, Dave? Why is it? Yeah, the timing of this all seems strange. Shit started happening almost 2 weeks ago, and then they waited 2 weeks for this. Like,
we just listen. We wrote the whole game out on design docs at the beginning of development, and it said that this part of the plot starts on day 20, and we never changed it. Oh, that's a good question.
how long have you been at the mansion so far?
3 weeks, give or take a day or so.
And then about 10 days ago, we made first contact face to face.
That's not... That answer was not contingent on that other answer. Those were not related data points.
Absolutely unrelated.
How long they've been at the mansion doesn't change how long ago they met.
And a few days ago is when we went on a little adventure and had a chat.
I don't know if this is something I need to ask, but, were you around when Dave went into the woods by himself?
Yeah, why?
Why didn't you stop him? Show him a thing or whatever to make him not go?
See, the thing is, I can't make him go anywhere or show him anything unless he's in that room downstairs. He never went down leading up to it, so there wasn't an opportunity.
It also only ever shows deaths? I don't think you can see your own death, if he even could get killed by Jack. But you could have just told him not to go in there. You've even met before at that point.
Well, maybe I didn't feel like it. Starting to see what you meant when you asked if he was evil, Dean.
Did you really not feel like it?
Wasn't my call in the end.
What do you mean?
Everything that happened turned out for the best, didn't it? You opened up about your old man. Everyone started taking you seriously, and look at you now. Would you go back and change it if you could? You didn't open up about your old man, Dave. Fucking Tyson did. Shut the fuck up.
He prodded Tyson to do it, which is kind of like doing it, but wasn't it after that? Wait.
Yeah, and also, I don't think people have been taking Dave seriously.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, like, did they find Oz's body before or after that? When they then proceed to not take him seriously about that. I'm trying to remember.
I don't think they found Oswin's body. They weren't able to get in. The door was locked.
Yeah, but the moment where they didn't believe him, I'm trying to remember if that was before or after he opened up about his dad.
Oh, I don't remember.
It's been
I honestly
now.
don't think it matters because I don't think people have been taking Dave seriously regardless since then.
Yeah. Because also him opening up about his old man isn't relevant to whether or not they believe him about anything else.
Yeah.
Immediately, the whole table seemed to shift into looking upon Thanatos, and unhappily at that. I don't think so. I don't like that I had to get chased into the woods, and I don't like how being outside stresses me out a little, but if that didn't happen, we wouldn't know who's out there. I probably still would be bottling up whatever happened to Dad, too.
That's what you said last time, too.
Oh.
Now, while I remember, let me hijack this conversation before we spend the next hour accusing me of things. Roswell had an announcement.
I did?
I quirked a brow at Thanatos, confused as to what Roswell had to say, and looked over to him. He seemed conflicted, but understood that Thanatos was what Thanatos was talking about, nodding slowly.
Right, I guess that's just better brought up now, huh?
So I'm dying. He took a deep breath and started to fiddle with his fingers. All the while, Thanatos seemed to make himself comfortable, notably away from Tyson.
So I have a confession, a secret I've been hiding from you all. There's no good way of saying it, so I guess I just will. Dying.
Oh my god!
Wow, we're so shocked.
What? We never anticipated this fact.
This isn't even, the thing is that this isn't even something that's like particularly well set up by the story. It's just the most obvious thing. I think we guessed this in like day 3, like before anything happened.
There's a few weird things. Like one, I think his star kept making me think of Make-A-Wish a little bit for some reason.
Yeah.
But also, it's just the fact that in every ending he dies, no matter what, and he just ambiguously dies without explanation.
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, so Roswell's ill, and this is all.
Yeah.
And going by the tropes of the game that they're literally riffing off of, it's about, the whole thing is about saving the life of someone probably. So this whole thing is supposed to somehow save Roswell maybe. And he organized the thing, so it all adds up. And then, so by the time you find a syringe that is implied to have been Roswell's, we're like, yeah, so he's obviously still, like, this still is the thing. It still reinforces the thing we guessed 20 hours ago, which is that Roswell's dying. Huh? Dying? My confusion seemed to be the same as everyone else's, but Roswell continued.
A long time ago, I was diagnosed with something untreatable. For the most part, it was, benign. It didn't really hinder me at all, is what I'm saying. But I was told that it was terminal.
I don't think you can call something benign and terminal.
You want to know what's kind of wild to me is that we had this huge big blowout scene about Dave's like dad being dead, and yet this and then we had a big emotional scene with Benson thinking what's his name was his son, and then we had a big blowout scene of Sal talking about his dead sister, and then this scene lands and Roswell's like, yeah, well, I guess I've been lying to you the whole time, I'm actually dying. Okay, anyway. It's like so weird.
Didn't think it was gonna come out this way with the immortal multidimensional rat AI I just met calling me out, but here we go, guys.
He was young, too. Real young.
Right, like, 4? Maybe 5?
But that's so young.
Sandwiches.
Sandwiches?
Fucking insane.
It is, but there's no sense in lying to me. It's a relief knowing what's going to happen, but it sure does suck that I don't have much time left.
Now for the big news. How long do you have left?
Truthfully, I'm on borrowed time. I could make it out the month, maybe. Another one, or even a year before it happens.
Thanatos shook his head.
Wrong.
He dies on day 30, doesn't he? That's where this is going. What do you mean, wrong?
Remember who's seen the different outcomes of this month.
Wait, it's less than a month?
It's variable. I've seen it happen, once? No. Twice, but both on different days. So have we, Thanatos. Nothing that you just said matters at all. What the fuck are you talking about?
You've seen me die of natural causes? That would mean I don't make it home?
Depending on how the next few days plays out, you might get, home before it happens. You might not. So here's an issue with this scene, right? This scene supposes that this is like a big deal because it thinks that we care about Roswell. But this is like a huge win for me, Toaster, as far as I'm concerned.
No matter what happened, Roswell will die.
Yeah. And what I'm learning is that, like, we could just lock Roswell in a room and he could just stop being a problem for us. So, like, that
Evil
could just
Toaster
be...
arc.
That could just... This is not evil. I'm doing a public service right now. Like, I just don't see how this is narratively impactful when, like, this route has been a disaster for this character so far and has done nothing but paint him to be literally the worst. Like this is one of those things where I'm sure people are going to point to it and be like, Roswell's dying, so it changes his justification because he's a character that has knowledge and is trying to fight against his death on borrowed time, and it changes everything. But one, the game doesn't do a very good job of setting that up, and two, it doesn't really make him any more interesting because, as we just stated, Keith and I have known that he's dying this whole time, just like through the clairvoyance of having
really
good
clearly
media
obvious.
comprehension. Yeah. And he just still sucks. Like, I just hate this guy. Like, he's just the worst.
Like, this whole thing was always clearly going to be either some kind of magic time travel conspiracy mansion to save Roswell's life, or it's his parents, like, organizing a trip for their dying son. That's why all these people are being brought together for this extravagant 30-day vacation.
Yes.
For the little
and
shit.
Even more than my dislike of Roswell as a character, he literally has not been friendly to or actually hung out with most of these people this whole time.
Yeah,
like Roswell
that being the point of the
specifically,
trip.
yes, Roswell specifically shows up to stir shit or point out problems with people or start fights. And the rest of the time he's like, oh yeah, Roswell was in the library reading about Greek myths. Mysterious. Anyway, he's gonna go forage for mushrooms while we're all in here. Like, there's nothing is interesting. He is not. The fact that these characters are like, oh no, Roswell, you're dying. You've been keeping this secret from us. We're all so heartbroken. We want to help you on day 20 where it's already so late. It just like doesn't land emotionally because like, literally, who the fuck is Roswell? Like, literally,
it's also
these
just like
people
a weird,
don't care about
It's weird
him.
thinking back to the origins of the trip and thinking like, oh, Dave is probably, Roswell probably thinks Dave's his best friend. And
Yeah.
he let Dave bring a +1 to his death vacation. Like, who did you want Dave to bring along that could have possibly been good for the trip of just like these like strangers and so on? Although in general, I'm a little confused by this friend group and how they all got here. If the basis is supposed to be this is Roswell's trip for his final month of life, or because like I don't think we actually have a defined relationship between half these people and Roswell, specifically because he did leave and come back, which explains him not knowing about Tyson very well. But that also makes things confusing because it feels like some of these characters only came by recently after Roswell left. So this like isn't Roswell's friend group; it's Dave's friend group, which is its own kind of weird. I don't know. There's a lot of strangeness. I had a thought and I lost it. Shit, it's gone. Got tangented and it's dead now. It died. Damn it. Womp womp. Yeah, this is Roswell's death trip. Fuck it, yeah.
But that's not long. 10 or so until the end of our vacation. 10 days until we all die of starvation because we can't make it down the mountain because it's been blown up. Why is no one talking about this?
Until Roswell dies.
Don't be going dramatic. Don't go being dramatic. I said it could be sooner than that.
Please, if there is mercy in the world, it will happen right now.
And how is that better?
Because nothing has been decided yet. I thought you'd like the variance.
Isn't that the entire basis of how humans go through life? As long as they don't know when they die, then it's okay, because they always know they will die.
The reason I'm bringing this up now is because where we find ourselves. Getting off the mountain or potentially needing to make some hard decisions. I'm getting in early so we're all on the same page.
No, you brought it up because Thanatos told you to.
What hard decision specifically?
That was unnerving.
It took me a second to get there. My voice just didn't transfer.
Roswell breathed in deep before exhaling through his nose, sighing out, if you will, looking to me briefly, then to Thanatos, then to Sal, rather than talking to the group as a whole.
In the absolute worst case scenario, if someone needs to die or be left behind, let it be me.
Cool, can we just kill you now? It just like be done with it?
It's just a wild thing to say. Because insane Hollywood scenario contrivance are you expecting to come up later that needs a sacrifice or something? Like, that just isn't a normal real life experience that comes up. It's an extremely contrived narrative device, and you're just anticipating, like, well, just if we need a red shirt, look at me.
If we need one person to hold the door open while the fire is coming and then shut it after the explosion, I'll do it. Like, all right, thanks for volunteering, buddy.
Everyone looked uncomfortable and didn't want to look at Roswell after he'd spoken, except for me. And after catching my eye, it was clear he'd noticed no one else was looking at him anymore.
Logically, it makes the most sense. If someone needs to be left behind so the others can survive or escape or whatever, makes sense that that person should be me. So please, hopefully nothing happens, but if it does...
He just said it again. He trailed off, looking at the others as if pleading for them to acknowledge what he's asked. I promise. The words were barely out of my mouth when Orlando stood up, suddenly, and stormed out of the room, followed quickly by Haas. They looked distraught, and Orlando was most definitely crying.
I don't understand the characterization shit here at all. I know that Orlando, Roswell, and Haas... Yeah, like the idea of Orlando, Haas, and Roswell like being an anime club together and like being friends makes sense because that's what the game told us. But like,
we know how long Roswell's been back?
Yeah, it like doesn't actually like the fact that they're crying and storming off and making this big show of it when they spent this entire part of this conversation just like not actually participating in it is like really stupid. This is not effective drama at all.
Tyson shot me a look before getting up out of his chair and going after Haas, his best friend. Roswell shifted in place before settling in his chair with a sigh.
There, it's done. Good.
I might need time before I'm able to promise you anything, Roswell. This is going to take a bit to think through.
Sal left next. He half dragged Dean out of his chair, given he was still wide-eyed and dazed from the news. Roswell slumped in his chair and looked over to me, noticing that between Thanatos and I, the three of us were the only ones left. Finally, the plot can happen with these three.
That could have gone better.
It went as it was supposed to.
You think so?
Worked well the last time it played out this way. Not that it makes it easier.
It really doesn't.
He was wearing a smile, but from that twitching of his nose, it seemed as though he was holding back from crying. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I didn't expect everyone to walk out. But I guess we all deal with this kind of stuff in our own way.
Anything I can do, or...?
No, thanks. I just want to spend some time alone for a bit. Recompose myself, and I'll be right by lunch, I think. I'll see you later.
He was out of his chair fairly quickly, and flashed me another smile before wandering away. I went to follow, but found Thanatos staring at me expectantly, shaking his head. So, what?
Ready for the next job?
If I'm being honest, not really. I feel like that could have gone better.
It's gone worse in the past. It's been one of the more tamer discussions on record.
How much worse could it have gotten?
Tyson injures my body to the point of not being functional. That causes some problems.
Then why do you still taunt him? If it's compromising the... I'm sorry.
Yeah, for like a mastermind manipulator who's like doing everything he can to like make the things fall in the right orders, like he is playing with fire in a way that like doesn't actually seem that conducive to his big plan.
Like, is he just that bored or something? Because, like, that he knows that in multiple timelines, Tyson ruins his body and this conversation breaks.
Don't be. I just directed the conversation the way I wanted, so it didn't happen. Cutting it real close, though.
He has a limited wingspan, just stay out of it. He wandered over to me, kicking my hand as I was slumped over my spot on the table.
Come on, we need to go talk to Benson.
Oh, right. Guess there's no break, huh?
What do you need a break for? Get going.
This was the last place I'd seen Benson enter, and sure enough, there he was.